Picture the big, untamed frontier of the American West, a land where lawlessness thrived and danger lurked around every corner. Among these wild, unpredictable landscapes, there came a figure whose name would stand for justice and bravery. Bass Reeves, the first black deputy marshal west of the Mississippi. Born into a slave family, Reeves's early life seemed doomed to be hard. But like the heroes of old, he seized his freedom and set out on a trip that would make him famous. Imagine escaping the chains of captivity, only to rise as one of the most respected lawmen in the land. In 1875, under the appointment of Judge Isaac Parker, Reeves became a federal deputy marshal, which would be the job that defined his legacy. Think of a man whose tracking skills were so precise, who had no fear at all, that he became the worst enemy of outlaws across the frontier. With over 3,000 arrests to his name, Reeves' fame in capturing criminals was legendary. He was more than just a figure of authority. During a time when both hope and justice were hard to find, Reeves stood out. Reeves wasn't just a law officer with a gun, he was a moral man. He chose to bring his prisoners alive, which showed that he cared more about justice than revenge. But when he was cornered, he had the best fighting skills anyone had ever seen. In self-defense, he killed 14 criminals, which shows how strong he was and how skilled he was when he was in deadly danger. But his reputation for being dangerous was so strong that many criminals chose to give up rather than face the guy whose name made them scared. Imagine this scene. Hardened criminals who are known for being ruthless are dropping their weapons at the thought of facing Bass Reeves. But what about the racism that was common in society at the time? Even though the chances were against him, Reeves's unwavering dedication and exceptional skills broke down barriers and paved the way for future generations of black police officers. His story isn't just about him beating his own challenges. It's also about breaking down social obstacles and standing strong against discrimination. An enduring symbol of justice and courage, Bass Reeves's legacy continues to inspire. In a land where the law was often as wild as the territory itself, he stood as a pillar of integrity and strength. His life story, filled with resilience and dedication, reminds us of the incredible feats one can achieve despite the odds. If you thought Bass Reeves' story was outstanding, you'd be amazed by the next one. The year is 1862, and the American government opens the door to a new life by offering 160 acres of public land to anyone willing to claim it. This opportunity came with a promise: build a home, farm the land for 5 years, and it's yours. The Homestead Act caused a wave of migration, drawing families, immigrants, and freed slaves to the untamed Western territories, all chasing the dream of owning their own piece of land. But this journey was not for the faint of heart. Settlers faced a harsh and unforgiving environment. Extreme weather, from scorching summers to brutal winters, tested their endurance. Isolation weighed heavily on their spirits, with neighbors often miles away. Resources were scarce, making survival a daily challenge. Timber, essential for building homes, was often non-existent. Instead, many pioneers constructed saris, homes made from compacted earth and grass, which provided shelter but little comfort. Think of the saris as nature's own bricks, a testament to the settlers' ingenuity and grit. These homes, though humble and prone to leaks, symbolized the start of their new lives. Each day was a battle against the elements, but the promise of land and a fresh start kept their spirits alive. For some, this promise turned into thriving farms and prosperous futures. stories of success spread, painting a picture of a land full of potential and hope. However, not all stories had happy endings. Many settlers faced relentless hardships. Crops failed, and dreams died in the face of droughts, plagues of locusts, and other natural disasters. Despite the back-breaking work, some families found the land too harsh to conquer and were forced to abandon their claims. The land was both a gift and a test, rewarding those who could endure its trials. But what about the impact of the Homestead Act on the broader landscape? This legislation aimed to populate the western frontier and boost agricultural development. It succeeded in drawing a diverse array of people seeking new beginnings. Immigrants from around the world, freed slaves seeking a place of their own, and countless others saw the Homestead Act as a sign of opportunity. Their resilience and determination shaped the demographic and economic landscape of the American West, leaving an indelible mark on the nation's history. But for every story of hard-fought survival, there is a shocking story of a daring outlaw whose infamous exploits defined the Wild West. Picture a dusty saloon in the heart of New Mexico. The year is 1877. The air is thick with the scent of whiskey and tobacco, and the soft hum of conversation is broken up by the shuffle of cards. At one of the tables sits a young man, his eyes bright with mischief and a hint of danger. This is Henry McCarty, better known as Billy the Kid, one of the most infamous outlaws of the American Wild West. But what about the way he looked, the essence of his presence? Only 2 confirmed photographs of Billy the Kid exist, and one of them captures this very scene. In the grainy black and white image, Billy is playing cards with his friends, enjoying a moment of friendship. His young face stands out against the serious looks on everyone else's faces, giving you a hint of his unique mix of charm and cruelty. The photograph, despite its age and damage, offers a rare glimpse into the life of Billy the Kid. It brings us back to a time when the frontier was untamed and the line between right and wrong was often blurred by the smoke of gunfire. Billy, known for his violent lifestyle, was involved in numerous gunfights and is believed to have killed at least 8 men. His daring escapes from the police made him even more famous, and he became a symbol of both the danger and the charm of the Wild West. Think of all the dangerous adventures he went on in his short life. Each one added to the legend about him. Before he was killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett in 1881, Billy the Kid's life was full of reckless crime and close calls with death. But his story didn't go away when he died. Instead, it made his place in history as a symbol of the wildness and the lawlessness and adventure that characterized the American frontier. The picture of Billy the Kid at the card table is still a strong reminder of that time, when stories were made in the Wild West, during gunfights and by candlelight in a smoky saloon. This book captures the raw spirit of that time. People are still fascinated by this picture, which is one of only 2 known to exist. Luckily, our camera roll has way more photos of the Wild West. Like and subscribe if you want to see them. We capture your presence in the next one.